How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 best strategies you can use to ensure that you're not getting stuck and plateauing in the gym. Because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm not making progress. They might have made progress in the beginning, but suddenly they just plateau and they just can't continue to make progress. In the beginning, I used to think that, oh yeah, they're just unlucky. Like sometimes people just don't make progress. But then the more I research and the more I learn more about fitness, I realize that every single time someone tells you they're not making progress, it's usually that they don't implement one of these 5 factors or all of these 5 factors. Because I can assure you that these things will make you make progress in the gym, and a lot of you out there aren't doing them because they're not extremely obvious, these things I'm going to be telling you. Make sure you guys stick around for the last one as well, as it's the most underrated tip I can give you that a lot of people aren't talking about. The first and most important thing is sleep. A lot of people out there nowadays are not getting good sleep because they're usually just addicted to their phones. They think other things are important, more important than sleep, for example, just watching TV and stuff like that. But I can assure you getting sleep is the #1 most important thing, getting gains in the gym, and generally just improving your strength, having lower body fat. In fact, not sleeping the right amount can increase your body fat percentage. It makes it a lot harder to gain muscle because when you're sleeping is when the growth and repair happens. It's when there's lots of growth hormone pulses, and yeah, overall sleep is just a time where your body's going to reset and make sure you have energy for the incoming days. So it's super important to get good sleep. I will make a video in future on a few strategies you can implement into your routine to make sure you get great sleep. The second most important thing is technique. You need to make sure you're not ego lifting and just lifting lots of weight because you think it's cool, because at the end of the day, the person who has the right technique, and maybe they're not doing as heavy a weight as you, but the person who has the right technique is going to make the most gains. There's been so many scientific studies showing that when you're using full range of motion, you're doing a super slow eccentric, you're just really just focusing on targeting that muscle rather than lifting a lot of weight, it's going to skyrocket your gains, I promise you. And it might seem obvious that, oh, you're using good technique. It seems obvious that like that's the way you're going to make gains, but I can assure you a lot of people are not doing it correctly. There's a lot of ways you can find out how to do proper technique. In fact, I'm going to make a video again on how to get the best technique when you're doing lifts, and that will apply to all exercises. But yeah, the main things, because I mean, a lot of people think they're stable, which is one of the factors. You need to have core stability when you're doing an exercise, but it's also just making sure you go through that full range of motion. And there's some tips I can give you guys in my next video showing you how you can get through that full range of motion best and the exercise you can use to get to full range of motion, and also just counting down on the eccentric phase, like I would say 3 to 5 seconds usually, are really great ways that you can skyrocket your gains. Because I mean, technique is #1. It's like with anything. If you're playing football, if you're not passing properly, then you're never actually going to learn the technique of how to do it properly. So yeah, just make sure you have the right technique is going to stimulate your muscles the most and make sure you get the most gains in the gym. The third tip I'm going to give is progressive overload. So what that means is just over time, you're just going to overload in the gym, whether that's increasing the amount of sets, the amount of reps, the amount of weight. And I mean, it seems obvious that if you increase the amount of weight on your exercises, you're going to get more gains, but that's not the only way you can do it. You shouldn't just be increasing the amount of weight, you should also be increasing the frequency of your workouts. And what I do personally, which I think would help a lot of people, because if you were just going off of what you know and just going into the gym and thinking like, oh yeah, this is the weight that I used last time, I'll just go up a bit. That is not how you should be doing it. You need to be tracking. If you really want to make the best progress, you need to be tracking exactly how much weight you do on every exercise and how much reps you do when you're doing it. So you can precisely make changes and make tweaks to your workout to make sure you're doing small bits of progressive overload and also big bits of progressive overload when you're getting a lot stronger, because this will make a huge difference. I mean, it's obvious if you're getting bigger and you're getting stronger, you should be continuing to lift heavier, because that's the thing that's going to get you bigger and stronger. The fourth tip is making sure you're getting your micronutrients in, because a lot of people think, and people definitely think this is controversial me saying this, is that just getting your protein, carbs and fat in is the most important thing. And I can assure you it's not. If you truly want to be healthy, get the best sleep and perform at the highest level, you have to be getting micronutrients in. And the best way of doing this is not just eating protein shakes to get your protein in and eating foods with very low nutrient density just because they're high in protein or fat, because I promise you this is just not how you're going to make the best gains in the gym and just reach that next level. I do agree that it won't make a huge difference when you're just starting out and you're getting the newbie gains phase where you're just going to skyrocket your gains as soon as you join the gym. But if you really want to take your gains to the next level after that plateau where you've trained for a long time, I can assure you eating tons of micronutrients, which you can get from fruit. I mean, red meat is the most nutrient dense food on the planet. Eating fish, eggs, it's really going to be important, as it doesn't only affect how you're training in the gym, your energy levels, it's going to affect how you sleep. And once again, how you sleep is going to affect your energy levels, so then you can have better workouts the next day. So yeah, I'll definitely say micronutrients are a thing that are missed out by a lot of people. They think that protein is just the most important thing, which I think is completely false. Getting your micronutrients is definitely important, and I think you guys will benefit a lot from implementing more micronutrients into your diet. The fifth and final tip is cross training. And I watch a lot of fitness content online, and I know this is something that's definitely not talked about enough, and it's definitely underrated. And what cross training basically is using alternate methods of training into your routine. So using lots of different types, well, not necessarily lots, but just different types of training. And I think this is really important because if you're always doing the same type of training, even if it is effective and you're progressively overloading, implementing different types of training. For example, I go to the gym and I also train martial arts. So if I'm training at the gym, I'm doing lots of forearm exercises, for example, but then I go to jiu-jitsu, my forearms will be hit in a different way when I'm grabbing onto the gi and I'm grabbing onto a forearm. And I think this is really important. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is going to make you insanely jacked, but I think in terms of athletic performance and generally just progressing into a better state of health, I think it's definitely important to cross-train because the muscles that you're training in alternate practices definitely do need to be hit and they can't be neglected because all these stabilizing muscles that you wouldn't usually hit just by doing, for example, bicep curls at the gym do still need to be hit, and it'll help you a lot, especially as you're getting older, just maintaining balance and stability. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully if you guys implement these strategies into your routine, it will skyrocket gains. I know I have, and it's definitely worked. If you want to see more videos like this, then just hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll definitely be making a lot more videos to do these topics and in general just helping you guys with health and fitness. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day.